Mr. Abercrombie is a contributor to the Washington Post Color of Money business section and is featured in three of BET's Building Black Wealth segments. So you've probably seen that on BET station. And he is the current president of the Second Avenue Plaza Board of Directors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Tim Abercrombie.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Glad to be here today.
You got the clicker?
Great. So I'm glad to be here this evening. That was a great introduction, but we're going to talk about business accounting tonight. Some of you in here may be starting up your business, some may have mature businesses, so there's a wide range of experience in the room. We've worked with businesses that are very small, getting themselves started, and moving to mature phase. So that's what we're going to cover tonight, a lot of different topics there. But one of the things that I find with a lot of our business owners, you may know your craft very well, but understanding financial statements may be something that's foreign to you. It's not your background. You don't look at it every day. It may be difficult to understand the financial results. But to run a business and to be profitable, you need to understand your financial results. So that's part of why we're going through this early on in the phase. And if you're trying to work with the city, you have to get certified. There's certain pieces of information you have to provide. And financial statements would be one of those. So understanding what you're presenting, because that tells a picture about your business financially, understanding that is important as well. So we'll go through, I have 10 or 15 slides. I'll finish up with a little bit on the tax cut changes that happened at the end of last year that would be effective for this year. So I've left some time on the back end for questions, but if you have a burning question as we're going along, feel free to stop me and I'll try to answer that. But we do have to move kind of quickly through the different topics. So we're going to talk about accounting systems. Again, when we talk about building financial statements, you have to use some method to capture your revenue, expenses, and assets and liabilities. So having an accounting system is critical. We talk about some of the features that you look at in choosing an accounting system. Talk about business expenses. Cost pools are important as you develop rates. And if you're going to work with a state or local government, they may ask for different types of rates. So building cost pools, understanding what goes in a cost pool is important to be able to make sure that you're developing the right rates. Because if you don't have good rates, you could bid on a job and not be profitable. And at the end of the day, you want to make money on the jobs, and that's why building your cost pools are important. Allocating indirect costs is also important. You may have back office staff. You yourself may not be on projects, but how do you recoup that cost that you have to incur to run your business? And we'll look at the components of business financial statements, business financing, and then the last bullet was going to be about the tax cuts. I just didn't have other things to change that. So if we're successful today, you'll consider some of the components in choosing your accounting software, understand better the IRS requirements for business expenses. So when we talk about financials, we may be talking about GAAP-based, which is your internal company financial statements, and then we're also talking about accounting principles for tax return, which is the IRS standard. And sometimes when we're looking at the GAAP versus tax basis, there's a difference. And from the IRS standpoint, if they come in and wanted to take a look at your tax returns, they're going to want to see certain things. So we're talking mainly about IRS standards when we're talking about the financial statements, because that's where a lot of our clients, if the IRS comes knocking, you want to make sure that your books are solid and sound. So you kind of covered some of those, and then we'll just jump into it. So if I were to ask a question there, how many of you have your own accounting systems in place right now in your business? So about a third of the room may have the accounting systems in place. So again, the primary purpose of that is to capture your revenue and expenses, liabilities and assets, and equity of the company. And that's important because from your financial system, you're going to build financial statements, tax returns, You want to be able to run a job profitability analysis. You want to know what you owe, what's owed to you. You want to have a good sense of how you're doing at any given point in time. So a financial system is going to help you to capture that. Now, when you're trying to figure out what's the best system for you, you have to take a look at your industry. You may want to look at who's going to utilize that system. Some companies have full-time staff that work in their office and record information. Others may hire an outside accountant to work periodically on the financial information. So how you would transfer a system to another person who's not in your company may make a difference. If you're using a web-based system, anyone can access it, has internet access and a user login. You're using a desktop system, how would someone that doesn't work for you get in and use that system? So whether you have some means for them to access your network and come in remotely, whether they come to your office, those are all things that are important as you look at choosing a system. Now when you're looking at web-based versus desktop, web-based you're going to have a monthly fee to access that system. And depending on the number of users, you may have to pay a sliding scale. A desktop version, you're paying that fee one time to buy the software. You may upgrade it every couple of years, but you're not paying a standard monthly fee. A lot of our clients who are small, and small is a relative term, they may be $10 million in revenue or less. The Small Business Administration may identify a small business $5 million or less. So when we say small, it's relative. But if you're a lot of smaller businesses use QuickBooks.